You know, I can't say I was the best influence either during that time, Ruben. I mean, I think
I think you caused everything.
I caused all the chaos in his life, but
it's always our decision.
All right. Welcome to another episode of Badass Agents Podcast. I am your host, AZ Araujo, and today I'm very excited. I got a personal friend of mine, a friend that's just a beast in the game of real estate. I'm really excited just to sit and just talk business with him today and talk about life because he is dominating all aspects of it. And I'm honored to sit here across from this gentleman just because, I know where things stemmed from. We met early on in our careers, and we saw the struggles that each of us had to go through to be where we're at today. And not to say that we've arrived by any means. It's just saying that we're on the path of continued growth and expansion, and bringing our families along and making sure we have focus on the right things in life. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and present to you my next guest, a $130 million producer, one of the nation's best, and one of my good friends, Mr. Rubin Luna from the Luna team. How you doing, my brother?
Thanks, man. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. It's an honor to be here.
Bro, I don't even know how you find time to even be here. It's amazing what you're able to accomplish in a day. How do you do that?
You know what? There's always time. You just got to make sure that you structure yourself right to be able to accomplish what you're looking for.
And that's one of the things that I've noticed, man. You are very organized in your approach. You're very intentional. You're constantly working on different systems. First of all, you live and die by your schedule, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. And it starts pretty early, right? Explain to, because a lot of people are coming in here and they may be thinking that you're just a phenom. Nobody else can accomplish this or very few people. But what I've learned by watching you is that you're just consistent with the small things every single day, right?
Yeah, that's all it is. I mean, when you started my introduction, you mentioned, arriving. We haven't arrived yet.
Yeah.
There's no arrival point whatsoever. It's about enjoying the journey on a daily basis, and that's what I'm pushing for. As long as I'm here, as long as my family's good, you know what? That's a success right there.
Yeah, it really is. And one thing I have to admit, man, I don't think I've ever seen you like frazzled. I don't think I've ever seen you really upset. Either you do a really good job of just always maintaining control or hiding it. I don't know what it is, man. But how do you de-stress? What do you do to make sure that you're always on point and have the time to be able to do things just like this?
Well, whatever comes our way is because we ask for it. And every time that I get stressed or something's throwing me off my game, I put myself in a position or in a situation that, I ask for it. Whatever is coming my way is because I ask for it. So I have to suck it up, deal with it, and fix it.
Yeah.
As opposed to, just playing the victim card.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, because we all have aspirations of growing big businesses, right? And what ends up happening when we have big businesses, big problems come attached with it.
Of course.
And all of a sudden, we're complaining about how much work we have, but we asked for it.
Yeah.
And it's such a good point.
Yeah.
And just having that approach of appreciation almost. When you know that, hey, these problems are only coming at me because I wanted these big things. Yeah. It really just changes your approach on how to deal with them on a daily basis, right?
Right.
And that's so. What do you do in the morning to mentally prepare yourself, to physically prepare yourself, just to take on the day? I mean, do you get up and start working right away, or what is your approach with that?
No. I mean, first thing we do, and this is something that we've done for many years. My wife and my daughter that has joined us for the past. I think she's been working out with us for a good year. But yeah, the first thing I want to do is start moving, right? So
move your body.
Yeah, move your body, get ready, go to the gym, we do CrossFit. We've been doing it for the past 5 years. And it's, just I want to get out of my head. Because being proactive and getting out of your head, it's the biggest...
almost like a defense, right?
It's the biggest defense that you can have to approach the day the right way. Yeah. So that's the first thing we do. We get up, get ready, go to the gym, come back home. we get ready, lunch, breakfast, whatever we have to do to carry on throughout the day. And then I try not to work a whole lot. I do check my emails here and there, but I'm not being very proactive with working until I'm actually ready to tackle the day.
Yeah, once you're in a position where you've already taken care of yourself, you've done the necessary things, and I love this how you've made it a family affair, right? Yeah. You like your wife Karina and your daughter are constantly together, running 5 miles at a time, or going CrossFit, going to the gym, and this has brought you almost like a sense of like just a serenity almost, right? Where you're able just to decompress, because what you have to tackle on the rest of the day, most people can't handle it, right? Mm-hmm. And if you don't give yourself that space to be able to say, okay, I need some room here by decompressing, de-stressing, now I can tackle on more.
Well, the workouts that we do in the morning, trust me, that's painful enough that anything that comes my way, it's easy.
Cake.
It's a cake. It's a piece of cake. Yeah. So it's always fun. But yeah, that's our morning routine for the most part.
Now,
and exercising, and it doesn't have to be like extremely as crazy as we try to, we're doing it, right?
You do it. It sounds crazy because you've been doing it for so long. You just built your capacity, but someone starting out, it doesn't have to be all that, right?
No, and you have to treat it as brushing your teeth. I mean, that's how crucial it needs to be. Like, hey, if you brush your teeth every morning, which hopefully you do. Then that's the same approach that you gotta do by taking care of your body. I mean, if you take care of your teeth, why wouldn't you take care of everything else, right? Which is the main our main concern.
It really is, and that's the approach. And here within A's and Associates, you'll notice a lot of people going into competitions. We have a couple of people doing a marathon this weekend. There's a group of us training for Ironman, and we understand that taking care of our bodies is what builds sustainability. Mm-hmm. Taking care of our health, right? That immunity puts you in a better position to withstand whatever comes your way.
Exactly.
And this approach has really blown up your business, man, to go from where you were at to 130 million. And at the level you're doing with a smile on your face, right? You still look like 25 years old. So it's not like, you're avoiding your health. You're not avoiding your family. You're bringing all things with you.
Yeah.
And that's not easy to tackle, right? Because as business owners, sometimes all we want to do is focus on the business.
It takes a lot of intention. I mean, you got to be very, very intentional about the things that you're doing on a daily basis. And it comes back to winning the day. I mean, do you really want to win the day? This is what it's going to take.
Yeah. From
the beginning to the end. And that's something that I push on a daily basis just because, and I'm not like scoring myself if I'm doing the right things. I know I am, and that's something that I've been doing it for such a long time that it becomes a habit.
A habit, yes.
So it's more of a habit now than anything else.
It's funny as you were just talking about just prioritizing your health. Of all the things you said, you prioritize your health. And I remember I went on a podcast 5 years ago as well. And they were trying to get this one nugget out of me, right? They were trying to get this one nugget on how to be able to produce at a high level. And as we were growing our brokerage, they were like, well, tell me that one thing that would help all these agents get to that next level. And I said, wake up and work out. And they're like, no, but what else can you do? And it's like position yourself to win.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's getting out of your head. And that's the biggest thing, because if you don't do something physical, you get stuck in your own head, right? And that's when you get stuck on a bubble. So by doing taking a different approach by exercising or doing something else, that will get you out of your head, and not just that will give you a more clarity of what needs to be done throughout the day.
It really does. It gives you that clarity of saying, okay, as soon as I'm done here, I'll do these following things. Yeah. So now you have an intentional approach on how to go about your game. But there's a lot of agents that are looking or watching this and will hear this, and they want to know, Ruben, what are 3 things I can do on a daily basis to make sure that I can grow my business to where you're at.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things you'll tell them is it doesn't happen overnight. Your success where you're at right now didn't happen overnight.
No, not at all.
It was a lot of hard work there, right?
As I mentioned before, enjoying the journey. You have to enjoy the journey, but you have to keep moving forward no matter what, okay? So obviously, taking care of yourself, that will be number 1. Mm-hmm. Number 2, it's getting organized. I mean, if you treat your business as a job, then you're never gonna grow. This is a business. You gotta treat it as a business. You're the business owner. Go for it, right? So you gotta get very organized about your business.
How do they get organized? Like when you say you got to get organized, how is somebody that's just, trying to get these leads coming in, trying to get listings and just can't seem to, turn that ball over? Like what?
Well, let's go back to the approach. What approach are you how are you approaching these individuals who are following you through social media, through open houses, mailers, you name it, right?
Right.
The thing that has helped me a lot, it's not about selling. Like I don't consider myself a sales individual. Like I don't sell. I'm here to assist. So if you change your mindset to actually helping families go through the process of buying or selling, and brainstorming on who you can follow up with or be in front of at the right time, at the right day, at the right time, then and you do that more often than not, then you are gonna get people. You're gonna get those results.
Yes. I mean, so it's a lot of the part of the organization is a lot of consistency on your end,
Yeah.
and following up with the individuals that are actually engaging with you.
Yes,
Got it.
definitely.
And what is another thing, like a newer agent or someone who's been in the business quite some time? What else can they do on a daily basis that will get them on that path of continual growth, like you've demonstrated here over the last decade?
We're gonna start off with what's your database. I mean, database is gonna be huge, right? And then obviously we're gonna look for different sources to continue growing the database. But let's start with what you have now. Every individual that I talk to, I mean, everyone that it's licensed or is trying to run a business, we already have a database.
Yeah.
Okay. If you open up your phone and you have more than 5 people, more than 10 people, more than 100 people, that's literally your database.
Yeah.
You just gotta know how to approach it at this point. You can call them, you can email them, you can set up you can put them on a mailing list, so you can mail them different things on a monthly or bi-monthly basis, and keep that consistent. Now, once you have that taken care of, and you can organize your day however you want. You can try to do follow up with 10 people, 20 people, whatever as much as you can. Okay. Then you start adding more sources to your database, like social media.
Yeah.
Okay, you can start promote yourself on social media. If you don't promote yourself, nobody's gonna see you. Then you're gonna lose a huge market. So social media it's one of them. Open houses, simple as open houses. They work. All you gotta do is, if you're gonna put in the work, maintain the relationship or the follow up with those individuals that you're meeting.
Yes.
Okay. So those are basically the main 3 that I use. Social media. I haven't done open houses in such a long time, but for somebody that's fairly new, this is a great way to be in front of people and cultivating your database.
And one of the things that I've noticed, like every time I go visit you at your office, you always have your CRM right in front of you.
Yeah.
I think there's many agents in our industry that disregard it. I've seen people that have been in the industry 10, 15 years and still don't have a database. Mm-hmm. How crucial is it for you to be in it on a daily basis?
Okay, so if you are putting all the work to promote yourself, to do open houses, to follow up with people, you put in the work. You put in all the legwork right now, right?
Yeah, it's all there.
And then you connect with 2, 3 individuals, and then a month from now you'll forget to contact those individuals that told you, hey, I'll be ready in a month. Hey, I'll be ready in 6 months. But you don't have a system to continue the proper follow-up. Then all that legwork that you put in now, it'll be wasted. It'll be a waste of time. So that's how crucial it is to maintain your CRM, to continue working on it.
Adding people,
keeping it organized, notate, and continue the follow-up.
And that's, again, do you think that was one of the crucial systems that you added when you became, because you've always had some type of database. I remember you using Excel spreadsheet.
I used to use this Excel spreadsheet.
Until it got way too long.
Yes.
I don't think they had enough numbers for that.
I couldn't couldn't remember all the people.
Yeah. And you converted over and you started using a CRM. But do you remember like a specific moment when you realized it's like, oh, I got to run this more like a business and not just like a hustle?
Yeah.
And many years we both had to just hustle, right? We just had to grind it out. We had to just go out there and just try to sell and try to represent as much as possible. But at a certain point, we have to convert over to a business. When was that point for you?
You know what? It was to a point. It got to a point when I was actually losing clients. I mean, there was people were like, "Hey, Ruben, you haven't called us back."
Yes.
And they take it very personal, right?
Yeah.
As opposed of calling me and say, "Hey, what's going on?" They literally just go MIA on you, and they go with a whole different agent just because, hey, you didn't call us back. We thought that you were too busy for us, so we went with someone else.
And those are hard lessons, right?
That's a big slap in the face for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you were in positions where you were losing out clients that couldn't, and that's when you realized, okay, I got to change something up.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest things that agents get stuck with as they start producing, right, is like, okay, I need to hire an employee. I need to hire someone. I need to get, the first thing they think is like, I got to get more agents under my team. When they don't have a real system in place, they don't really have a process in line. They just think because they're so overwhelmed, I need to go get some agents to be on my team.
Yeah.
What is the first key hire to someone that's looking to expand their business, right? To their team. A lot of people think when you grow a team, it's got to be other agents. It doesn't necessarily have to be other agents, right? No. What is your approach? What is your advice for someone that is hitting that point and wants to grow?
Okay, so the first thing that you gotta sit down and I will put it in writing if I was if I was in that position, or I actually normally do. So when I'm feeling overwhelmed, I just write down the things. In what area am I feeling overwhelmed? Okay, am I not doing the proper follow up with my clients? Am I not whatever
scheduling the inspections and all this other stuff. Yeah,
exactly. So whatever I feel like I'm starting to not doing it as consistent, then that's the position where I think I need the help with. Okay,
got it.
So I put it in writing the things that I'm missing or that I'm not following up.
And it could be like sending out monthly newsletters. Yeah. It could be the simple things that we all know we should be doing, but just don't have the time or forget about it.
Yeah, and then at that point, I have a plan of if I hire an assistant, of what items he or she can actually start doing.
Got it. Yeah. Got it. And I think a lot of people get stuck because they think they need to have the entire description of what they're going to be responsible for all written out, and that's not the case. You'll figure it out as you go because every business is very different in this industry, right? Because we're all sole proprietors.
Right.
We run differently. Yeah. Everyone runs, at a different pace. So it's got to fit how you operate. Yeah. But it's just simply writing down those responsibilities. Yeah. Just to reiterate what you said, writing down those responsibilities and saying, okay, I just need to make that key hire. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And what ended up happening for you as soon as you hired somebody, your first person?
Well, it took me a big load off my shoulders, for sure. When you like, all right, now I have help, then you can go more in on the things that you actually like to
enjoy doing, right?
Yeah. Like I enjoy meeting with people. That's, right now, obviously it took a lot of work, but I'm working towards, actually helping individuals who understand and they like how we do business, right? Mm-hmm. You get to a point where I'm no longer chasing the business.
No.
I've chased it for so many years. At this point, I just want to make sure that we're providing the service. Okay, and that's basically it.
It's the experience of the Luna team. Like you have this worked out so well with the different employees and assistants that you have, that it flows so well that you give them so much attention to the service that they want to refer their family and friends. Of course.
And that's how it should be.
And it's about selling that experience is what you do. Yeah. So again, your first key hire is somebody that can just help with the load of your work. What would be the second key hire?
Second key hire, honestly, I will hire a buyer's agent. by somebody that can help me with showings, just because right now how the market is, somebody that can be with me if for some reason I'm not available to run and show a house, right? So I mean, that will be my second.
Now, does that include, what about your transaction coordinator? Is that already part of the process?
All right, let's go back.
Let's go back one.
Let's go back. Yeah, I went too ahead of myself. So
first,
obviously, as an assistant
An assistant?
that can help you with your CRM.
Got it.
Okay, CRM is huge. Okay,
And just the follow-up, the small things.
Yes. Then obviously transaction coordinator.
Must in the transaction.
Somebody that handles all the paperwork that comes our way.
Got it.
Okay. And then at that point, obviously somebody that can help you with showings. Yeah.
Got it. And I've seen you do that. And what is, to run a $130 million operation, what does your operation look like right now? Like, what does it consist of? Does it consist of, is it just one transaction coordinator and one assistant, or what is your structure now?
No, at this point we have two transaction coordinators. That helps the entire team.
Okay.
We have two ISAs.
And can you explain what an ISA is for those that are just getting started?
It's basically somebody that is following up with the CRM consistently, calling, texting, emailing, and stay on top of the follow-ups.
Got it. And that was my next question. Like, what are some of their responsibilities? And it's just following up with your clients, kind of like the concierge service to the Luna team, right?
Exactly.
Again, because you're there about the experience overall. Yeah. So they're like the concierge, they're constantly contacting, hey, how are things going? Is there anything that you have questions with? And this works for both people that are in your pipeline and people that you're currently working with, right? They contact both individuals.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. So you got two transaction coordinators, two ISAs. What else?
Obviously, my partner and wife.
Yeah.
That handles all the accounting,
the back office stuff, man. Whew.
That's huge. Okay, so you gotta have.
Dude, not to say that Karina was the reason you blew up the way you did.
No, she was the main reason.
But she would, like, when she came into the business, but like took that responsibility, almost like the CFO.
Yeah.
I swear, man, it almost happened overnight where you just exploded. Yeah. And both, the family business just took off.
She's very organized. I'm organized, but she's more like, I don't have patience. That's my problem. Like, I don't
know if I would describe you that way, but okay.
Like I read these huge emails and I'm like, oh, like I get overwhelmed and I'm like, I need to go back and reread it again. And she's the one that reads it once and gets it and moves forward.
Makes moves.
Yeah.
Makes decisions.
Yeah, exactly.
And now, there's a lot, again, agents that are say, have this ambition of being a husband and wife team, or, owning the business, the family business, and operating within. It's not easy, right? I mean, there's a lot of that, the learning curve at first, and then because at first you ran the entire operation, so to have her come in,
to have anybody come in,
that's tough.
I was like this,
baby,
like, hey, I got this.
It's mine.
Yeah,
give it to me. Yeah. So, what kind of advice would you give for those husband and wife teams that are,
just separate your role.
Yes.
Like, separate your role. This is your role. This is my role. Like, don't
step over here and I won't step over there. Dude, it took me a long time to discover that. Yeah. And I know we've had many conversations on that when Carla and I first, started working together. I was always overstepping my boundaries.
Yeah.
I was like a habitual line crosser. I was like, and it just created a lot of...
It should be done like this, not like that.
So once you separate the role, understanding that, mistakes are going to get done, but there's no other person that's more involved or wants the best for your business than your spouse. I mean, I really don't think. Even I've had other partners, I've had other, associates, but what I found is no one's going to care more about my business than the person that I'm spending the rest of my life with, and that I almost had to wake up to that revelation because, anytime a mistake was made, I felt like I was always like overlooking the mistake or really like pointing it out when in the end of the day, she didn't want that mistake.
Yeah.
And she wasn't pointing out my mistakes and I was making a whole lot of them.
Yeah, right.
So separating that's the key there.
Yeah. Separating the role, figure it out. I mean, if you need help from each other, then obviously that's what we're here for, but not overstepping.
It's funny because we now have a physical office like that, like exactly what you said, where, we separated roles. So we have two offices, but we have a middle ground where if we want to help each other, we can. But at the end of the day, it's separated.
Stay over there. We're in the same office, but we're No, we're pretty. I go inside and I just do what has to be done. She does the same thing, so we're pretty quiet.
Yeah.
During the time that we're
because you guys are focused.
Yeah.
Focused. No, and that's good, man. And I've seen your business just expand and grow, and it's amazing to be able to just see that from the outside in. But what you just mentioned with the hires, it's scary, right? When you first made your first hire, it's like, oh man, am I gonna?
And not just hiring. It's taking the time to hire and train.
Hire and train, yeah.
Yeah, like there's, it's pretty simple to, start bringing people on board, but then is it the right individual? Like take the time to actually do your homework and hire the right people, and train them, because that was my biggest mistake. I was just hiring them and I'm like, all right, this is what you got to do. I will assume that they kind of knew, but then I wasn't really explaining what I was expecting, and that was my biggest mistake. Not explaining exactly what I was expecting from them.
Got it.
And I was assuming that they knew.
So what do you do now? Okay, so what do you do now? Because I think a lot of agents get discouraged. A lot of business owners get discouraged when you spend all this time training this certain individual, and for some reason or another, it doesn't work out. Whether it was a choice you made or whether it's a choice they made, a different opportunity presented itself. What have you done to make sure that there's not that big learning curve of training them from scratch?
Well, that comes down to putting things in writing.
Yes.
Like create a kind of like a manual, right, for that particular position. So if that individual, hey, I'm moving on to
greener
anywhere,
pastures.
Yeah. Then you can easily bring somebody else, and it'll take some training, but it won't be as painful.
Yeah, painful, prolonged.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we believe in is that if you have those employees now, it's really having them take that time to write down exactly what they do and how they do it, real detailed of hey, click on the file and to click on this button next, and this is how I do things, so that just in case something happens, whether voluntary or involuntary, you're not in a position where all of a sudden your business is now falling apart based on one employee.
Right. So we also have, out of the 2 ISAs, one of them is becoming the team manager that handles a lot of the questions from the other supporting staff.
Good. Okay.
Because eventually we are gonna bring another ISA to help with the database.
Yeah.
So that's huge.
Are you hiring now? Should we give out your information
No,
now?
not yet.
Not yet. But you are looking for team members, though, right?
Yeah, I'm looking for team members. We have a great source of leads coming in that we want to make sure that they're being taken care of. So we always open to those that are thriving to grow.
Yeah. How important is an environment, Ruben?
Environment is huge, man. It's huge. I mean, just having the right positive people being around on a daily basis, I mean, that will make your day a lot easier. Imagine walking into the office and people just being upset or don't want to talk to you, and that right there, it kind of like throws you off. Even if you're having a good day, right? You walk into an environment where it's just the vibe is just not there. It's just
or nobody's there.
Nobody's there. Or it just pulls you back.
Yeah.
I mean, I've stuck with you and AZ and Associates for a long time for the same reason. I can easily go anywhere else.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I'm gonna get the same environment that I'm getting now. Why break what's not broken? And I know the environment is huge, because it's not about the money. It's never about the money. It's about feeling good, because tomorrow you don't know if you're gonna be here.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah, no, I love how you put that. And a lot of people think that for the sake of saving money, and we've had that. We've seen top producers leave, and for the sake of this or that, a shiny object, and if they would just be patient with the process, right? Because we teach the principles, and you live by the principles of just the sustainability. It's not how fast you can get there. It's about getting there and sustaining that for many, many years. And you've done this for well over a decade, and it's just a simple approach like we talked about earlier today. And for me, like being able to collaborate with you, being able to collaborate with our top producers, and that's one of the things that I think draws a lot of the agents here is you're approachable. Your door's open. You have you're able to talk with them. Like even yesterday, you came in and taught a special class, and afterwards, people were just asking you questions, and you took the time to really answer them and let them know, hey, this is how you can get from point A to point B. And that means a lot, right? Watching others grow around you. Like, I don't want to be better than I want people to come along with me.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, it's not, if we can help each other, why not?
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to be.
It really is. And, the trajectory you're on, Ruben, I remember 2 years ago, we were doing our business planning meeting and you put out a big number. You're like 100 million.
Yeah, in production.
100 million.
Yeah.
And I think at that time you were only like at 50 million with your team.
Yeah, it was about 50.
And so 100 was like a huge number.
Yeah.
So at the end of the year, did you hit that 100 million?
No, I did not.
You did not.
I was about 78, 80.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but that was still there. And then this year, you said, not only am I going to make up for 2019, but I'm going to also do it for 2020. You hit 130 million, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, our team, our supporting staff, my wife, everyone involved, it's a huge part of the business. Everybody's on point. They do their part, and that's why we were able to achieve it.
Like, I love it, man. I'm just thinking, and I'm so grateful, right? Because, there is this vibe everywhere, within our organization of individuals just striving to become better, and they're getting inspired by watching you, get inspired by watching like the newer agents too, like the Rudies and the Rios coming up through the pipeline, and even veteran agents that were stuck and all of a sudden are just making leaps and bounds. It's exciting, right? It kind of motivates you even.
No, it motivates me. That's huge, man. Like, I wish I had the tools that they're being offered right now. See, when we started real estate back in 05, 06, faxing offers.
Real signatures? Like, what is that?
Yeah.
The environments were so different.
Yeah.
It was, and, I always think about that too. It's funny that you brought that up. It's like, imagine if, like us coming up, right? We were young, trying to make it in this industry. Having an environment like this, how much faster would we have like?
Oh man, it would have been so much faster. But the good thing is that they're taking advantage of it.
Yes.
Those who are listening and taking notes and taking action overall, they're seeing the results of it, and that's basically it.
And part of that is really leaning in, right,
Yeah.
and seeing yourself in that in that space of. If it worked for this person and that person and this one and that, it could work for you too.
Just mimic. You don't have to reinvent it.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. And, you've done a very good job of just pioneering consistency, man. Like when I see you, when I, even follow you on your, your Facebook and, it's always the consistency of what you do day in and day out. And that is what just builds your capacity to handle more and more and more. Yeah. And I absolutely love it, man. But what would you say your greatest accomplishment has been in your career? And we're going back many years now, right?
Yeah.
So what would you say one of your biggest accomplishment in your career is?
It's just going for it. Honestly, just going for it. Mm-hmm. Back when I started real estate, I started real estate at a young age. I was 21. Mm-hmm. Quitting my full-time job and saying, you know what, there's no plan B. I'm going in. From that point, I never looked back. Yeah. And that's the difference between, making it and not making it. If you have a plan B, you're never going to make it because you're giving yourself a chance to fail. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, if I don't make it, that's okay. I have this that it's still working, and I don't give myself that option. I kept it from day one, just basically just moving forward and going all in what I like to do, which mm-hmm. is, real estate.
Yeah, no, I've seen that, man. And you and I met, was it in 06?
It was about 07.
07, right?
Yeah.
Early part of 07.
Mm-hmm.
The market was like tanking.
Yeah, it was horrible.
And it's funny because we talked the first half of this podcast on the very thing where we met.
Yeah.
It was at a gym, right?
Yeah.
At a LA Fitness.
Yeah.
It was at LA Fitness. And I just remember just, right around 9 o'clock, people were the gym was empty, right? Mm-hmm. And that's about what time I always ended up. And I would see you a few times.
Yeah.
And I don't know how we sparked up the conversation, but, we just started. You were stuck.
Nah.
Is that the start? No, you were stuck with weights.
Yeah, you needed somebody to spot you, so I'm like, okay. All right, I can spot you.
Yeah, no, that's funny. But we met at the gym, And we just sparked up a conversation. I didn't know that you were a realtor until, many conversations later. It was just by passing. Hey, how's it going? What's up? And then, we ended up just, discovering that we were both agents. And a couple years or probably a year later, right? We started working together.
We team up about a year later, and and ever since.
Yeah, it's been an amazing rise on both of our businesses, man. And it's very inspiring. Because, the principles, again, we teach here, it's not something that'll get you the results right away. It's not that, right?
Well, anything that you do that it's right, you're not going to get the results right away. Mm-hmm. It's something that you got to work towards day in, day out, weeks and weeks, months and months. And if you're doing the right things over the time, the right things will happen. That's completely out of the question.
You can't get the wrong results doing the right things every single day.
Yeah, exactly. So
but I absolutely love. I mean, just the relationships you have with your daughters. You have 2 daughters as well. Yeah. I have 2 daughters.
Dude, I have a 17-year-old and a 12-year-old. So
dude, I'm right there. Mine's about to be 16 and 12 as well. And it's just amazing just to watch how you engage with your daughters. They engage with you. Watching you and Karina just build something epic. And I think it really is a testament of the work and it's inspiring, because it's real easy to be, to showcase your success, but have everyone else behind the curtains, but you showcase your entire life. Yeah. And I think what that does, the way you showcase your life really may inspire other men to step up their game in that format, right? Yeah. Maybe they engage a little bit better with their family or treat their spouse with greater respect and appreciate themselves and start taking care of their bodies. Like, I think you do that by being you, is inspiring others.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I don't see any other way. And that's the thing. Once you put yourself in a position where you don't see, there is no other way. Mm-hmm. There isn't, right? Then at that point you start showing up on a whole different level.
But things weren't always this way. I mean, how bad did it get for you in business, man? And even in general, was there a point where it was just like, man, things are not going my way?
Oh yeah, for many years. Mm-hmm. I mean, I started real estate back in 2005 when it was booming. 2006, 2007, everything crashed. Went through my savings like no other. 2007, 2008. I was acting like a fool, doing whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, and that's, that.
It wasn't in alignment with your commitments.
That brought a lot of chaos within the family. But at some point you gotta grow. If you don't grow, then you'll be stuck in the same position over and over, and that's gonna get very tiring, and it's a huge regret. When I was acting up like the way I was. Like the one thing that back then, years and years ago, I would look back and I'd be like, man, I just don't want anybody else raising my daughters. Like I need to step up and be a man as opposed to continue acting like a fool.
Acting like a fool, acting like a boy, right?
Yeah. So that was a big wake up call. I mean, I was doing whatever I wanted. Karina's like, hey, if you don't stop, I'm out. And I'm like, man. Well, besides, obviously, I wanted to stay with her, but then just thinking about somebody else jumping in and raising my daughters, that was a big no for me. So I had to. You
had to like almost wake up. And, I can't say I was the best influence either during that time, Ruben. I mean, I think
you caused everything.
I caused all the chaos in his life, but
it's always our decision. I mean, there's no, you cannot blame anybody else for everything that's coming your way.
It was just a foolish thought process, I think, just the way, we would.
And I mean, keep in mind, it's a younger age. We go through, different phases. It took a long time to wake up and say, hey, I need to stop what I'm doing. But obviously, we chose the better side. The
better version, right? Yeah. And that's what our wives deserve. They deserve to get the husband that they thought we could be, and
our wives, our daughters, our family members, anybody that is around us, dude,
I can't imagine.
Everybody.
Imagine if we would have, stuck to those, same habits.
Yeah, we have too many people that it's depending on us. So it's a lot.
It's huge, and the responsibility to rise up it's on
all
of us. So
that's why I wake up at 4:30 in the morning.
And that's the truth, man. And really, it's again, just waking up that, if we have chaos in our life, if our life is constantly under turmoil, constantly under duress, then it's not the outside, it's what we're doing and how we're approaching it.
Yeah.
And all the problems that I was causing within my household, it wasn't Carla. I was easy to blame her. I was like, it's your fault. I'd be happier without you type, that's what was going on through my mind at certain points.
And all of that, guys, it relates to real estate 120%. Okay. Just because you're providing the vibe, good or bad vibe with other people, guess what's going to happen with your business? It's either going to grow or it's going to go backwards.
Yeah.
Which is, people knows when you're having a good day or a bad day.
Yeah.
Are you being, are you helping them the right way or are you not?
Yeah.
So.
And we are live here again with Rubin Luna, top producer, one of the top producing teams in the nation, 130 million last year. And we are live here. So if you have any questions for us as we start wrapping up, please ask them. Ask away. We have a top producer here, and he will answer any of your questions regarding real estate or life in general. And Ruben, it's so awesome to be able to go back down memory lane, because we were a big influence on each other.
It was.
And I think if I'm just so happy we decided to make the moves that we did. We decided to man up, right? In all aspects. It's not, popping bottles and doing this and doing that. That's not, it's not in alignment with what you want to create long term.
Yeah.
And now I have a lot of harmony in my life because I've showed up the right way.
Yeah, you know what? It comes down to sabotage. You sabotage your progress by overdoing certain things. That's when you're gonna live on the same cycle. Like why would you want to do the same cycle week after week?
Yeah.
Like that's a crazy cycle. You're feeling good, and then you come back down.
Yeah.
You're feeling good, come back down. That's a very tiring cycle.
It is. And what we've done here is figure out a way to sustain that upward trajectory.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to say, I've realized my own business grow and watching your business grow. We're excited about the game, right?
Yeah.
It's like we're new to it. We're not, already looking for retirement. We're not looking to, step away.
I don't think retirement it's
not in your vocabulary.
No, never.
You'll be bored.
Yeah, I'll be bored.
You'll go on vacation, and 3 days later, you're like, I want to go back to my business here.
Yeah, for sure.
No, you create an unbelievable a life, man, and it's really, I'm honored to be part of that. So what are you excited most about 2021?
You know what, the market's it's crazy, as everyone is, as everyone knows. Low inventory, low rates. It's people buying, people selling. So I think it's gonna be a very, very demanding market that's going to take a lot from every single one of us. Yeah. I mean, it's going to take the best of us to be able to deliver on a high level. I mean, our clients are depending on, if you're helping them sell, hey, like, how are you going to assist me? If you're going to help me buy, what strategies do we need to follow so we can get into the right property? And that's going to be the biggest difference in this kind of market. Just being the best professional that you can in being able to assist those families.
Do you have a magic number of how many families you actually want to help out in 2021?
2021, we're thinking, we're pushing for 600 families. We were 498 for 2020. So 600, it's the number that we are working with, working for.
It's that number that popped in your head. It's like, okay, This is it. This is it.
Yeah.
And I've seen you accomplish great things over the years, and there's no question in my mind that you'll be able to achieve that. But we do have one question here. Yeah. Can you be a part-time realtor and still have results? Part-time, doing things part-time.
You know what? You are going to get some results, but not, being a part-time, you're not necessarily available for your clients. You can easily miss the call. That could have been your next listing. That could have been your next, buyer. You can easily miss an email or miss something because you were stuck at your full-time job.
Yeah.
Can you get some results? Yes. Are you going to be able to get big results? It's going to be tough. It's going to take a lot out of you.
Yeah, because your competition is people just like you.
And here's my question. If you're already getting results, why not go all in?
All in, right?
Yeah. If you're
and I think a lot of people are scared because, I got benefits. I got vacation. I got this. I got stability.
Okay. If you can help an additional family buy or sell, will that take care of all the benefits that you're already supposedly pulling you back?
Yeah.
Most likely, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You mentioned something yesterday about somewhere along the lines of focusing on the service, right? It's focusing on not necessarily chasing money. Can you kind of explain what you were saying?
So one of the things that I learned very, very early in my career is if you chase the money, you're never gonna make it in this kind of business. But if you just concentrate on the service, the money will follow like no other. I mean, if you know for a fact that you're doing your best to help these families get into a home, sell their home, whatever the case might be, and they know for a fact that it's not about just you getting paid, then most likely you'll get those results over and over again. That's where the referrals are going to come from.
Now, I also heard you say something very important. So I hope everybody got that, of how important that thought process is about chasing versus providing excellent service, right? Focusing on the service. But what about answering your phone? You mentioned something about how a 1 minute conversation can completely change the dynamic of your business, right?
Yeah. So,
and a lot of agents don't answer their phones.
Yeah.
So talk to us about that.
So that's huge. I mean, missing a call. It can be a sign call. It can be a past client or referral, whatever the case might be. You missed a call that would take you 1 minute to 2 minutes conversation to be able to set up an appointment. That can be your next transaction. It's simple as that, or how fast you can lose your next escrow transaction or deal.
Yeah, and you're right. So many agents are like, oh, I don't know who this is. I'll wait.
I'll call back. Or a lot of people, nowadays that we're getting a lot of calls from all kinds of area codes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, marketing and you name it. But then you answer it and you think that it's those calls again, but it might not. It's that crucial to be on top of your.
Yeah. And I think the mindset that a lot of agents take is like, well, I'm busy. I was at dinner. I was at lunch. I was doing this. But really, it's not like it's going to interrupt all of that. Yeah. It's a quick 1 minute conversation, 2 minute conversation. I'm here. Let me call you back in 5 minutes. I'm excited that you're looking to list your home. I'm excited that you want to buy.
Yeah.
Let me call you back. And yet I will do that. Like I've done this whole lot even within our organization. Top producers, hey, what's going on, AZ? Right away. Like these guys are like you. You're always busy, but I get this real quick answer or quick text me. I'll call you right back. And it's like, and then I'll go down the line. And it's like, I can't get a hold of certain people.
It's strange. I don't know how that works. But just stay on top of it. I mean, and at that point you can notice who's really thriving to grow in the business and who isn't.
I love it.
Just by answering.
And those are little tidbits of knowledge. If you're an agent, if you're a small business owner, how crucial it is to answer those questions. But we got to tell, can you send Karina my way? That's funny. She will definitely grow your business. You guys, let's see. Do we have any other questions? There was another question there. What advice would you give a new agent during this crazy real estate time? It's insane. Like, to try to get and position your client to accept an offer, like what kind of advice can you give to new agents?
You gotta prepare your client, right from the beginning. Prepare them to what's coming, right? And depending on, as a matter of fact, any price point is pretty crazy.
It's insane.
But prepare them on what's gonna happen and what's going on. Educating your client. So one of the things that I normally do, we try to do what's called a buyer broker appointment. So we meet with our clients. We let them know how things are moving and what strategies we need to follow in order to be able to secure a property if they like any properties that we are going to be showing. So preparing them is huge to be able to help those individuals. So for newer agents, take the time to meet with them, explain the process, what's it going to take, and what's going to happen.
Do you think it's a tougher time to get into the industry now versus 5 years ago, or?
I don't think there's necessarily a good or bad time. 5 years ago was good. Now it's good. So I think it's just a matter of how much you want it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you really want to do this kind of business?
And it takes a lot of hard work. Every year, it's like your skill sets, your mindset has to get better because the competition is so much more aggressive. It's getting better. The competition every day in our industry is getting much better. And what used to work yesterday doesn't necessarily work today, right?
Yes. But, competition, there's really no competition. I mean, there's tons of people always going through the process of buying or selling. All you got to do is just be very proactive.
Yes.
I mean, if you concentrate on competition, you're never going to grow. Just concentrate on yourself. Concentrate on what things you're doing to be able to actually make things happen.
I love it.
Yeah.
And it's doing the right things again. You'll get the right results over time. So we have Amir. Ruben, can you, if you have time, make a video on how to go through a listing process in detail and challenges faces when listing? I think we have one of those trainings already, right?
Pretty much.
Amir, I'll point you in that right direction. We have it in our vault, the Empire Members Vault. But yeah, he broke down the entire process on a listing appointment. And again, those are some of the benefits. Agents here at A's and Associates, we bring in our top agents. And this is, we're just doing an overview of what Ruben does. But you've given many classes here, Ruben, and you've put everything out there. All your secrets, all your best practices. You're just like, here it is. Here it is. And you never hesitate on being able to do that. So Amir, I'll point you in the right direction on that. It's on our Empire member site. So check that out. And also, I'll take this time right now. If you are looking to make a move, to be in an environment with individuals such as Rubin Luna, such as myself and other top producing agents, I invite you to go check out badassagents.com and learn a little bit more about it. But at the very least, subscribe to our podcast, Badass Agents Podcast, on your favorite podcast provider. But we do have more. We have Rudy Flores, one of our top 3 producers, man. This guy's only been in the game 2 years. He's got it easy.
He's killing it, man.
I know, he's got it easy. No, I'm just kidding. Rudy, you've worked your butt off. But he says, Ruben has made such a huge impact on my journey. He always been one to lead by example and be willing to share his knowledge and experience. He's one of those people that I see as a big brother, as a source of inspiration, honored to be in the same brokerage with such powerful individuals, such humble individuals. Dude, that's got to feel good. That's
awesome,
good,
man. That's awesome. It's always a good feeling. We're no better than anybody. We're no better than anybody else. And it's one of those things where, dude, we're humans. We're here for the same reason, and that's just to give the best of us to just anybody that is around us. Like, we're nobody to assume, we're nobody to judge, we're nobody to point fingers. I mean, just do your best day in, day out, and things will start happening. That's just how it is.
But what a great testimony, and that's from one of our top producers. There's no sense of jealousy, only a sense of appreciation. It's not a real competition, even though technically everyone's a competitor. It's like, no, we want to see the next person rise, so that makes us better. Competition makes you better, and not only that, he's paying it forward. He's influenced so many of our other agents, just like you influenced him. And that's the beauty
that's huge,
of this environment. CRM on a scale of 1 to 10. Does the CRM you use matter?
I'll tell you what. It's not the CRM. It's actually you using the CRM.
Yeah.
There's many CRMs.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with any of them. It's just a matter of actually using it.
Yeah. And just being having it pop up first thing. I think you even have it as your homepage, man. It's always on your desktop. And that's one of the things we do encourage. It's just have it in front of you. If you see it every day, out of sight, out of mind, but if you see it every day, it's going to be used.
And then once you get to a point where you're like, all right, I'm concentrating more of actually meeting with clients, helping families, showing them houses, taking listing appointments, then at that point, it might be the right time for you to have somebody else handle your CRM, so that way you don't skip the beat. You continue moving forward. You start adding people at the moment that you start getting overwhelmed on certain parts of your business.
Got it. I hope you got that, man. That's fire right there. So simple, right? We got Vivian. Ruben and Karina, you both are so admirable. I absolutely love how humble and inspiring you both are. I got to tell you that, man. You're one of the biggest names out there, and I just love your approach to the game. It's not about being better, and you mentioned that. It's just about, paying it forward and being an overall good human and leading by example. And you're one of the best that does that. What else we got here? We got, we'll go back up the line, and then we'll wrap this up. We got Patty, amazing team. Ruben, well said. You are an amazing agent. You are a great leader. You inspire every day. So happy for you and your family and your team. Love your humbleness and energy.
Thank you, Patty. Appreciate it.
We got Joanna. If you treat it as a hobby, it will pay you as a hobby, all in or not.
That's pretty much it.
Right? Or not at all. I love it. We got, we'll read a couple more. We got Billy. How's it going, my brother? You guys aren't only badass agents. You are badass human beings. Thank you for that. Husbands, fathers, and friends. Absolutely. And I think we all have a responsibility to showcase the best of ourselves to our families, to those around us, right? Just by constantly just pushing that envelope. Ruben, thank you. This is from Bobby for all the advice you give and for all the training you have shared. And that's one of our agents as well. And again, I mean, a lot of anytime we bring you in for special training, we have a packed house, Ruben.
Yeah, awesome.
It's always good to have you in. We got Carla. Thank you for always sharing your knowledge, Ruben, and always leading from the front. We got Isel. Thank you, AZ. And brother, we got Carmela. Ruben, you and Karina are in the epitome of consistency. No secret formula, just consistency day in and day out.
That's it.
And Angel, it's never a doubt. I find gems listening to you guys.
So before we go, just a quick advice to everyone. One of the biggest problems that we have in our industry and actually in life altogether, it's the distraction and comparison game. You can easily get sucked into this, all those distractions that you get from social media. You can get sucked in through all the comparison, what they're doing and you're not doing. Just worry about the things that you're doing, and that's pretty much it. That's going to change your life. Worry about the things that you're doing or not doing. Another huge thing that we normally do, and this is something we do as a family, our phones can take our attention away from the things that are very important to us. So one of the things we do at home, after 8 p.m., for the most part, we leave our phones away from our bedrooms. We don't take them. We literally leave them in the kitchen. And this is something I've told many people. Leave them in the kitchen. Don't take them to your bedroom. Rest. Let yourself rest, because at that point, you're going to be energized for the following day.
Yeah, you're right. So. Such great advice. And again, Ruben, thank you, man. I know you have a busy day ahead of you. I want to thank you for giving this knowledge free to the world to hear and to listen to what you have to say. And for that, I really appreciate you, like I've always said. And for those of you, again, if you've been thinking about making a move, if you've been thinking about, creating something bigger than just the next commission check, I'm going to highly encourage you to check out our environment. If it's something you're looking to go on a team, the Luna team is hiring. Or if you're looking to grow your business, go to badassagents.com, learn more about our environments. But these are the type of conversations we have on a daily. And again, you cannot not be inspired, right? You cannot not be inspired in an environment like this. So if you're hitting a wall, if you feel like you're attacking this all by yourself, I'm going to highly encourage you to go to badassagents.com. There's a quick application. I will personally call you. We'll set up a one-on-one and determine if an environment like this is right for you. But again, thank you to our special guest, Rubin Luna. And until next time, we will talk to you soon. Have a great day, everyone. Bye now. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Badass Agents Podcast, brought to you by AZ & Associates and Do the Work Coaching and Consulting. You can watch this and other episodes by subscribing to our channel on YouTube or by visiting us directly at badassagents.com. And of course, you can listen to this episode and many others on your preferred podcast provider.